Hello, sports fans. Mauricio here. Well, here's part two on group by queries. So, at this point, you should really focus in on what dimension do I want to summarize the data on? Could I summarize the data on two dimensions? That would be a pivot table. Not that's a little bit too advanced for right now. So we're uh, group grouping data on a dimension. And let me just say why group by queries are so effing powerful. You can create as many columns of metrics as you want. The analyst's value, of course, is in helping solve problems. How do you solve problems? Produce metrics. How do you produce metrics? One way is with the group by query. So I have four metrics here, counting something and aggregating something and totaling something, aggregating something again, doing some calculation. And we're going to add more and more and more here. So each of these columns, the analyst makes. So you, the DBA, you might be a DBA analyst, or you might be an analyst, or the analyst adds value by their original metrics. Now you're going to get a list of metrics to implement from whoever your boss is, and those are called report requirements. But always give them a little more. Give them more metrics, and they may be useful, they may not. And more and more and more isn't always the right idea. So focus on 5 to 7 metrics perhaps, and then go analyze the data based on those and maybe add another one here or there. But again, group by queries are amazing because you, the analyst, decide what the columns are. I decided to total things up and how much profit is generated by each product. So immediately my business mind is saying, well, we better sort these by which products are generating the most profit. So that would be descending because you want the highest one on top. So looks like we don't sell too many TVs, but they sure generate a lot of profit. And so, I mean, that kicks off a whole bunch more questions. Well, gee, if we sold more TVs, would we get more profit? So, the analyst, the manager might be saying, where should we put our limited resources? What should we buy? Buy more of what's selling, boss. Well, should you always buy more of what's selling or buy more of what's the most profitable when you do sell it? Now we're getting into managerial questions. But group by queries are amazing in that once you set up the metrics that you're calculating, you could just swap out the dimensions. And if you were giving a report to one level of management, you might want to keep the data at a certain level. If you're giving the report to some vice president, you might want to condense it more. For example, we have products. What's a vice president gonna want to know? Perhaps what's the most profitable category? What's the top 5 most profitable products? And more summary nature queries. So why do I like group by queries? Watch this, sports fans. Swap out the dimensions. So swap them out from the group by. So the rest of this is all metrics and setup. So I want to know which customer is buying the most stuff. All right, so group by customer. Now, what about their name? Well, their name is in the customers table. So you'll have to learn how to join to get their name. That's not our goal for today. But look at this. Whoops. All right, so wait a minute. You just swapped out the customer, and now you have totally changed the data set. Yeah, so who would want to know products? You know, I don't know, maybe the supply chain manager, or definitely marketing types, but now we can see who our best customers are. And that could be now that's a whole question. Who's our best customers? Is our best customer the one who bought the most often? Is our best customer the one who bought the most units? Is our best customer the one who generated the most profit? I'm just eyeballing the numbers, but that's just a good question. So all I did was swap out the dimension, and then the data recalculates, so we're regrouping on a different dimension. So I personally like day of week. So let's get day name up there. That's the day of week. So group by, order by. Now that's not that useful because I don't think the names are in the right order, but we could sort this by units. I guess that order, and you can order by the alias, so that's pretty nice. So you can order by something different than what you grouped by. That's pretty nice. So I think we do want descending. So total units, we sell the most units on Tuesdays. Well, okay, that's interesting. Maybe we want to know profit. So let's sort by profit. By the way, you don't learn this stuff until you pause the video and do the same thing, and you're gonna develop your business sense by playing with the different dimensions and then learning the power of this. Is any of that in the homework? Probably not, but you'll be skipping the learning if you skip right to the homework. I've been in this game a long time. The benefit of the class is the comfort you get, and the mastery over the data. And you don't get comfort and mastery over data by unless you practice. So similar, you don't get good at playing guitar unless you practice. All right, so Mondays we have the most profit, but we identify Tuesdays we sell the most units. Now, but that's fascinating, right? Hey, Featherman, I'd really like to order those days of week, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So where is it? Day of week. So I wish this would work. I'm not sure if it does. Yeah, it says you have to put the day of week also in the group, and also in the now you don't, we'll also need it up here. We can get rid of that later, but Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So we can swap out the dimension, and then the metrics will recalculate. Prove it to me again, Psycho Featherman. I must have got good sleep. I'm playful. How about, so that's why we put all these dimensions here. We pre-made all these dimensions. So let me get month name, and I'm going to want to sort that. because the Julian calendar is not sorted. So blame it on Julius Caesar. So we're going to order by month number. All right, so 4 months of data, and sometimes so we do have one sale somewhere that didn't have this categorization, so we have dirty data. But take a look. When you swap out the dimensions, the numbers recalculate. And by the way, how often do you want to create this query? Once. So turn it into store procedure. And can you show me a little bit something more advanced? All right. So by the way, this is, you can screenshot this or whatever, but here's some documentation. But this is the group by products. And let's go a little bit more advanced. All right, so just a few new things here. You can put a convert, sorry. You can put a convert function around the sum. Why, Featherman, why? Well, I can't show you format, but if we did a format function, where am I? If we did a format function, it would turn it into a number. Group by. Gotta have the group by there. So take a look at the profit generated. It's got 4 decimal places, so that's why you would use a convert. And that'll cut the 4 decimal places in this instance to 0. We don't really need to worry about decimal places or pennies. An accountant told me, forget about the pennies. All right, so that profit generated chopped off the pennies and decimal places. So convert is one upgrade we have here. Dun, 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 dun. But here's a like statement, and here's an or statement. So like is a fuzzy logic. So I want to get products that are just the shirts. So let me demonstrate that to you. So we got our shirts. So like shirt. So those are all the shirts. And Control Z. And now we can get the shirts and the soap. So that or statement's pretty handy. So that's shirts or soaps. So that's an or statement. I wish it was product name like shirt or soap, but it's not. It's one or the other. But you probably could use an in statement here, but I'm not going to do it. So we upgraded this a little bit with a convert statement and a like statement. And you got to see some notes here. So one more time, I got a minute. Use your database once you have enough rows. Put your dimensions there. They have to match what your group by dimensions are. And you can have some filtering. And this convert pretty much helps. And the only way you can learn this stuff is by playing. Have a good time. This stuff's very useful. Enjoy.